Hello, guys. This is my first episode. Let's invite our guest, Kamil Kinastowski.
Hello, everybody.
Can you tell briefly who you are, what's your experience, maybe some where do you study and where do you currently work in?
Yes, so currently I'm working as a Founders Associate in Dataplace.ai, and I'm a student at Kamils University. I've been there on the bachelor and now I'm on the master's. I studied master in management, and yeah, with a special specialization in strategy and innovation, if you want to know.
Very nice. Okay, so first question for you. Tell me more about your Founders Associate position. I would like you to answer and all of the people that will be listening to us. How did you find out about this position? What was the first time you heard about it?
Okay, so the first time that I heard about it was while looking for the job opportunities after I finished my first, let's say, like full-time position when I was working at OLX as a first trainee and then as a junior product manager. And then after I wanted to switch to something new, I was looking for some work in startup and I saw a position as a founder's associate. But I kind of disregarded it at first because I didn't actually know what it is and didn't pay that much attention to. And then my friend Tomek actually started working as a founder's associate at Heroify, and he told me a lot about it. And yeah, that's how I got to know it.
Okay, so can you tell me why you first thought it's nothing, it's not that interesting for you, and later you came to the conclusion that you actually might be more interested in it?
Yeah, so at first, from the job description only, I didn't Google it and Google anything about it. From the job description itself, it just didn't sound maybe interesting, or it just didn't sound like something that I want to pursue, because it didn't sound like there is anything concrete that I would be doing. It just seemed to me like I would be doing anything that nobody at the startup wants to do. But then after talking with you, I got to understanding that the job, part of this job is actually like doing what nobody wants to do, or where nobody is actually nobody has time to do it. And then the second part is actually like, since you are working so closely with the founders, you have the opportunity to do also a lot of other cool side projects, or projects that you thought of, or projects that you might be just interested in that are happening in the startup.
Okay, so from what I understanding, at the beginning you were not sure because you thought that it's like super general position and it doesn't have any specialty. It was a problem for you.
Yeah, I thought it's just like an assistant position. So you're like scheduling calls, scheduling calendar, something like as an assistant does, and not as like an employee that has its own like ownership of the project.
Okay, and why it was a problem for you? You wouldn't like to be that assistant?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I thought I don't want to, but I just didn't think it through at first, I think. And then after getting to know what actually goes into this position, I thought that, yeah, maybe it's like a cool opportunity to try a lot of different things in the same job position without switching actually company or switching position within the company.
Mm-hmm.
So you have like a very generalist position where you do a lot of stuff. But to what I wanted to say is that I thought it's very like it's not that deep of a position, so you don't have like a concrete tasks that are meaningful to the company. I just thought that it's like a very narrow position where you just do calls, emails, calendar, and like very small things, or you go somewhere to take care of something, which is also fine. But at first I just didn't think I want something like this.
Okay, so can you now, maybe let's go a little bit back. Let's figure out how you get this position,
Yeah.
because I know that you were trying for a lot of time. I was also trying to help
That
you.
lot.
Oh, okay. So what was the time? Like, can you tell me more, like how you did the job? Like what happened that you exactly got this? Because I think it's interesting.
Yeah. So I finished my previous work at OLX in May of this year, or of previous year. Then I took some time off just to like explore myself and what I actually want to do. And then of like actually looking for a job, it was since I think June or September, and I got the position at the end of November.
Okay. But can we go more in the details? I don't want to
Okay.
share the whole story with the audience because I think you know it the best. But what happened with what people you talked, like in which way you get the job? Like,
Okay,
actually.
so basically the hardest part of finding this job was like just my understanding that I wanted to work in a startup, and startups don't usually post on, let's say, like LinkedIn or on Pracuj.pl in Poland or in like big job posting sites. So the biggest problem was just like looking at, let's say, like 100 or 150 companies, like startups in Poland that are operating, and just going through their website, on their like careers website, and just looking if they have any open positions. And there were like a few that had like the founders associate position, and I applied to them. I had like a few, so I had like 3 or 4 startups that I had like interviews with. I like went through the process, but finally it came down to something totally opposite to what I was doing before, because I was applying to B-Value fund as like a position for like a general analyst or investment analyst, because I just thought that, okay, maybe I'm also would like to work just in a fund to work with startups and not for startups. But then after talking with like the talent acquisition person there, she thought that my skills would be better put in one of their startups in their portfolio, which was Dataplace. And she connected me with the founders, and we talked, and we just clicked from the beginning, or at least like, yeah, we both thought that we clicked, and the process was really quick, actually.
So can you get more into depth into this process, how it looked like?
So I got connected through this like talent acquisition at B-Value Fund. So we exchanged emails at first. We scheduled a call, and at Dataplace there are like 3 people that are in the management position. So let's say like founders that I'm helping. And I scheduled a call with 2 of them because one of them was not available. And we got like the first like introductory call done. It was like really cool. I really liked talking with them, and I just felt this connection that I didn't feel in any previous company that I like talked with. So I just felt like we're equals during this company. So they were not trying to prove to me that I don't know something, or they were not like checking if I actually know everything that they need me to learn or they need me to know. They just wanted to find out about me as a person, of who I am, and if I have this like thing that they're looking for. And I think they were just looking for somebody that's ambitious and is willing to put in the work.
Okay, so thank you very much for that. And I would like to ask, since you touched already like the skills and characteristic on the Founders Associate, maybe you can elaborate more a little bit on this topic. So what are the like main 3 to 4 skills that a Founders Associate should have in your opinion?
Yeah, so I think definitely one of them is just willingness to willingness to do the stuff that you need to do. So like the ambition, or just the maybe not jumping like head first, but something similar. So like somebody asks you to do something, you're not overthinking it, you're not asking way too many questions, you're just gonna do it immediately, as soon as possible, basically. And you don't pick what you want to do and what you don't want to do, because sometimes something just needs to be done and there is no other person that needs to do it. So just this versatility of thinking of, okay, I can do whatever they need me to do. And yeah, the ambition, and also the time management, that's definitely, I know it's like a everybody says that Founders Associate needs to like have this good time management, but it's actually true, because there is going to be a lot of different tasks that you need to do, and since they're like all so versatile and each is so unique with different departments, if you have departments in your startup, or just people that are doing different stuff, so you're going to be context switching a lot. So you're going to do one thing with one type of business of your startup, and then after 1 hour you're gonna do something totally different.
Okay, so maybe to give a broader and deeper view, can you tell me a little bit more about the company that you are working?
Yeah.
Then a little bit like how many people are there, what this company does, and like who do you report to? So later it will be easier for the people to have some image about it.
Yeah. So Dataplace.ai was previously known as PlaceMe, but since then they grew. They started in 2017, and it's basically a company, a software as a service company that allows you to perform location intelligence reports. So that means that you get we have like a lot of databases that the company that works with us can use, and it's mainly used for expansion purposes. So you get like you have a shop chain, and they want to open new shops. So they go to our app PlaceMe, and they put in the address, and they get like a lot of data about this address and the area within it. And with this data, they can compare which address is better for their expansion purposes. And we also do a lot of other like different stuff that are unique to clients' purposes and needs. But that's like something like different area of the business. And currently there are with me 11 or soon to be 12 people on board. As I said, they're like 3 management people that I work with. And yeah, basically I'm mainly now in the sales department, helping them because we're growing, and there are like a lot of sales topics currently in the business. But I'm also now going more into the product stuff of the startup.
Okay, so thank you very much. Now I hope that people will have more clarity. And could you tell me, because you said that, for example, you are getting a lot of tasks, right?
Yeah.
So how, for example, you decide what task to do? Like they have some priority that you, for example, settle for yourself, or I don't know, based on the time, how much thing the task will take you, and you start with the simplest one and then move to the hardest one, or they're like, for example, I don't know, you get tasks from people from these 3 departments, and like what is your logic behind that?
No, so I try to be like really open about it, and everybody there is open about that. I'm this person that anybody can just like come to me and ask, okay, this needs to be done, and we don't have any other person that can do it. So I'm openly just asking people what is the priority in terms of other tasks that I have. So if I have currently a task that I've been doing, let's say like 2 days of like cleaning the database of like clients' contacts, then I'm asking the person that's coming to me with another task, like, okay, let's talk with these management people in our company and figure out what's the priority. Do I jump in to this task that you ask me, or do I focus on this one, and maybe sometime in the middle, in the break, I do this like smaller tasks. It all depends on the task, but I think the biggest lesson for me was just like openly asking, like, I know the priority, but I just want to make sure if everybody understands the priority correctly.
Yeah, I think my team is a little bit smaller, so I just report to the CEO. But I would agree that, for example, I get I don't know 5 or 6 tasks. We sit and we see what I need to do, and then I try to communicate which of them has the highest priority, because time is limited and I should focus on the ones that are the most needed to do.
Yeah, but also to my point before, like I get a lot of tasks, but they're usually like bigger tasks. So I know they will take me, let's say, like 2 or 3 days each task. So I try to like my priority is mainly on the full week, or let's say 2 weeks, because then I need to schedule like I'm gonna do this task for 2-3 days, this task for another 2-3 days. So it's not like during the day. Sometimes it is, but during the days are like really smaller tasks, so I can fit in them like on the break or something like that.
Okay, so maybe let's talk now more about the tasks specifically. So if you could say, for example, on the last one super interesting tasks in your opinion that you have done, and that you learn a lot from it. Do you have something like that in mind?
Yeah. I would say that my I've never worked like actually in sales. So I had like some internships before, but it was mainly about like cold calling and the culture of cold calling. But now just like building the database for the for our campaign that we're doing of like, let's say, marketing, but it's like connected like marketing and sales campaign to our clients or prospect clients, and building this database, thinking of like who may be the client that will fit into this campaign and will fit into the product that we're trying to advertise to them, was something that I've never done before. And for me, it was like, it's hard work because you're going through a lot of contacts, you're going through a lot of companies, you're Googling a lot of stuff, especially if you have a company in mind and you want to find out how to find the person that will be the responsible that you could like contact in terms of the service that you're trying to offer them. Is something that is like teaches you a lot of patience, and also this like process of like researching the person that's yeah, like management or somebody that can make a decision maker in the company.
Okay, got it. So maybe now, what do you think is the hardest part of your job, like that you sometimes struggle with? Because from my experience, I know that sometimes it's not easy to multiple that many things, especially like we don't have that much experience working in a startup yet. I think both in my case and in your case. So could you tell me and elaborate more what gives you the most headache, or what's the most pressing for you sometimes?
Yeah, I haven't been working in this startup for that long, so I don't have anything that's like really pulling on my nerves yet. So maybe you can give your opinion on that, and maybe I'll build up on that, because I'm not sure yet what is like the thing that's like really driving me crazy or something like that.
I think like from my experience, I think that since my team is much smaller than yours, I have a lot of tasks to do from a lot of different things. And sometimes I don't know, for example, if I'm doing them actually good or not, and what should be the time devoted to that. Because my CEO has a lot of bit of her time is very valuable since our team is small, and sometimes it's hard to me to juggle between all of these tasks and say actually if I'm doing a good job or not.
Okay, because
to have some faster feedback loops.
Yeah, there's no time for feedback basically.
Exactly,
right?
exactly.
Okay. Yeah, that's part of it, but for me, I don't think it's that. But maybe something similar to this is just like in startup, there is never enough time for anything.
Yeah.
So it's always like a bit of a rush with everything that you do. So it's not always gonna be 100% finished, like tip top. But sometimes you have to settle for 80 or 90% of like done, and you just have to like be okay with it, because the sooner you do it the better, because then you can move on to the next thing. And it's part of the like startup culture and world, and that's fine. I'm okay with it. But yeah, if the person that's thinking of going into startup world, and especially into this position, wants to have like is a perfectionist or spends a lot of time doing some stuff, sometimes you will have to settle for not having that opportunity or that comfort of doing it a long time or doing it perfectly.
Okay, get it. Thanks for that. So I know it will be hard, but let's try to do it. Can you explain us what is the typical day of the Founders Associate? Because I know there is also myth about how many hours you work in the startup, and all kind of that. So I would like to ask you, for example, I don't know if you work remotely or if you're coming to an office, how much on average you are working, and like what just your typical day looks like.
Yeah. So Dataplace has a policy of like remote first. So people are working from, let's say, all over Europe now. But yeah, the point is we can work from anywhere, and people are traveling a lot, and the location is not that it's not a constraint to people. People are working from different cities in Poland. But there are like people in Warsaw that I come to the office with sometimes. But I try to do it like 2 days in the office, 3 days in online. And so I usually, if it's like online day, I usually log in somewhere between 8 or 9 and do the tasks that I'm supposed to be doing for that day that I previously knew that I'm gonna be doing. And yeah, just sometimes meetings, sometimes a day without any meetings. So just focus and do the task that I need to do as quickly as possible. Sometimes somebody messages me about something. I'm also responsible for customer support. So somebody will message our chat with a problem. So I'll need to quickly like stop doing what I was doing and answer them, because yeah, we try to answer like in about few minutes to every person that tries to contact us. So that's maybe also to the previous question a bit of a headache, because yeah, sometimes I have to like stop in the middle of, I don't know, writing a Excel formula because somebody just wrote and writes to us that something broke and he cannot use the service. So that's quite important to like help them or something. And yeah, I usually get off at like 5 p.m., 6 p.m., depends on the day and depends if I finished everything that I wanted to finish for the day.
Okay, you mentioned Excel's formula, which is for me quite interesting. So can you tell me a little bit more about your like tool stack or main programs you are using?
So we're not using that many tools or programs. So we're using HubSpot for CRM. We're like Microsoft based company. So we have like Teams, Outlook, and so on. And yeah, Excel just to like keep, it's mainly for like working with like the contact list and companies list, because you can do it in HubSpot and CRM, but sometimes you need to just like divide them easily and quickly, and sometimes HubSpot doesn't allow you to do it. It's just like going sometimes back and forth between Excel and HubSpot just to pick some company that you think is worth, and sometimes I mess things up and I need to find the formula in Excel to like not mess it up anymore.
So did you learn any new formulas?
Yeah, XLOOKUP.
XLOOKUP.
Yeah,
the best
formula.
One, right? Yeah. Nice. XLOOKUP index match.
Yeah.
And okay, because I know that previously in your job you were using the Google Workspace, I think, and this time you were using Microsoft Office. In my case, it was differently. Before I was using Microsoft Office, and then I'm using Google Workspace. So was this transition easy for you or not?
Yeah, I mean, I'm used to Microsoft from my university, so I'm used to Teams, I'm used to Outlook, and so on. It was quite easy, especially like I got to know that like using Excel, PowerPoint, and so on like is easy if you actually like do it with SharePoint. So you can send, similar as in Google, you can send a link to somebody which is like editable, or we have like this shared folder. So if I create an Excel file in this shared folder, everybody will have access to it immediately, no matter if I give them the access or not. So yeah, it was like fine, like nothing to report here.
Yeah, I think the same for me. Like Max, it's super easy.
It's like up to, I don't know, 1-2 days of like switching.
Formulas are the same.
Formulas are the same, exactly.
Yes. And I have a question regarding, because at least in my experience, sometimes or most of the time, I'm having the task that I'm learning something for the first time, which is cool.
Yeah.
But how do you approach this? For example, where do you try to look for the information? What type of sites are you using? Like, I don't know, there is some task that you are doing for the first time, and what is your approach to find out the answer for that? Like, how you approach that?
So I first try to, because for me up to this point it was that like I was doing a task that somebody before was doing already, and I just like take over and like build up on that. So if it's like, I don't know, finding contacts, or if it's like some data science work that I also have been doing, I'm asking the person in the company of what was their process of doing this task, and just learning from them, and then finding my own like rhythm of doing this task. So if it's like doing something in Excel, I'll first ask this person that gave me this task of how you were doing this task before. I learn from them, and then I try to do it myself. And if I have like some struggle with something, I'll ask them again, or if I'll Google it simply.
Okay, and actually, do you use Google? Because I learned that first, I think now I already switched. I'm using ChatGPT as my first to-go solution, and then I'm trying Google. And also I like to use ChatGPT, for example, with these Excel formulas when they are complicated. It helps me a lot.
Definitely.
But also lastly, I was doing some statistical work, and I remember at the studies I was learning that, but I need to again remember all this like different ways to calculate stuff. So I think now my first to go way is ChatGPT, to be honest.
Yeah, it depends on the task. Like sometimes it's way quicker to if I know it's something relatively easy, I just like forgot how to do it or just need a direction, I'll just quickly Google it. And if I have no idea even how to start, I'll use ChatGPT just to like steer the course for me of like what I should be doing.
Okay.
And definitely in the like Excel formulas or sometimes also with the like data science work, if I have absolutely no idea how to approach this, I'll first like give description of like what I need to do. So it's like an example from like my previous task. So I had like some links that I needed to like websites that I needed to like take something out of these websites, like information, and the information was like really hidden, and I didn't know how to like actually access it. So I used ChatGPT for that because Google wouldn't do me like favor because it's like very unique thing with this just one website.
That's true. That's true. And for example, if you could say to all of us, do you like this job? First of all, do you like it after
very much.
2 or 3 months right now?
We have what? Yeah, it's 3 months now.
Okay, so coming back to the beginning, I remember that at the beginning you don't know, but later after you talked with me and you did the research, you thought that it's something for you. So from this 2 or 3 month experience, why did you like this job? Like, what is the most interesting about it? For example, if somebody would like to also get this position of the Founders Associate.
Yeah. So going into this, at first I thought that I want to like be a product manager basically because I got this internship. I then got this junior position. I also finished like a course with Product Management Academy. So I thought this is gonna be my way, but then I thought that okay, there's still so much for me to learn, especially if I want to work in a startup, and that I didn't want to close myself to just being a product manager and knowing product management stuff. So this position gave me this option to actually like try a lot of different things. So I'm doing Excel formulas, I'm doing sales, I'm doing marketing, I'm doing data science work even, and also product management. So it's like best of both worlds. I have like everything in just one position, which is like concentrated on just having the versatility of tasks. That's why I mainly like it, and maybe that's why you'll like it.
Yeah, I also think that if somebody wants to have in the future their own startup or they really want to see how it is, I think it's like a perfect position.
One thing is if you want to have your own startup, but for me that wasn't like the main driver. I just didn't want to feel that I'm closing myself or closing the opportunities on just learning different aspects of like working. So I didn't want to be knowing only product management. I want to make that informed decision. If I want to be a product manager, I want to try different stuff at first and then make this decision. Okay, I tried sales, I tried marketing, I tried all these different aspects, and now I know that I'm actually gonna be a product manager. Or here I can just say that okay, out of all these things, I don't like product management that much. I like different stuff. So for me, it was just making the informed decision of what I want to be doing in my life.
Okay, so for now, what type of tasks you like the most then? Because probably I know that you're doing a lot of stuff, but I think that some you like more and some you don't like that much.
No, for not yet. It's been like 2 or 3 months, right? So like I don't have any tasks that I don't like, that I would say that I don't want to do anymore. I know you have this like with like product management and like with overall like talking about IT stuff.
Yeah, I think it's not my main domain.
But I don't have that yet. Probably maybe in a few months we'll see, but not yet. I like the fact that I have this like different stuff, that a lot of different stuff that I can be doing each week or each day.
Okay, so like let's for example jump 1 year ahead. You already work like approximately 1 year at Founders Associate position. What is your next step? Have you thought about it? Like you will, for example, work 1 year now in different departments, like with different people, and then you will focus yourself more in that, or you want to, like, I don't know, from my experience, when somebody starts at founder associate, they can go up and then be chief of staff. So it's like, can you tell me about it?
Yeah, I'm thinking about it like constantly, because I don't have like a concrete answer to you yet, because yeah, as I said, like I'm trying different stuff. Maybe I'll in a year focus just on this one department and that's it. Maybe the company that I'm working, like Dataplace, will grow so big that I'll have just this one department that I'll be, I don't know, responsible for or work with. So I guess just time will tell. But yeah, like this is certainly like in my mind, like the chief of staff position is like very promising, and since it's like similar to the founders associate, but on, let's say, like a bigger scale and with bigger ownership of like what you want to be doing, what you think is best for the company, that's definitely also you need like a bit more experience than I have right now for like the chief of staff, or just like very narrow, like one department that I'll be handling or something like that. So not yet.
Okay.
Do you have a like vision for yourself?
Vision for myself? No, I think it's the same as you. But now I know like that I want to go more into the business stuff. So like I think less product and IT, more into the business stuff. But as you said, I don't want to close for now for, like, I don't know, sales, marketing, or operations. I'm just trying everything, and we will see how it will goes. But also I'm researching more the chief of staff position because it seems interesting, and I saw that many nice startups are posting this job offers. So I think it's something interesting, maybe to be doing in the future. Okay, so I think we will wrap up. One last question for you: is there anything that you would like to add to our conversation, or you want to share with the audience?
Yeah, so if it's like somebody that's thinking of like working as a founders associate, I say try it out. There is no harm in trying it out, especially even like just making the interviews with the startup for the founders associate position like really gave me a lot of clarity, and just meeting a lot of people with that, because I had like 4 interviews, so like 4 companies that I interviewed with, and I met like 15 people overall through that, because you're meeting one person, then another person from the startup, then the investment fund that is investing into that startup. So you're meeting a lot of people, and you get like a lot of different questions you can just try yourself. And yeah, this gives you a lot of perspective. And if you actually like get the job and start working, you'll see that you'll be doing a lot of different stuff. And if it's something, as we talk, like you don't know yet what you want to be doing, you have like a lot of different skills and you don't know which to pursue, this is the best opportunity, and you get paid for it. You work in a cool startup usually. The startups usually have like a cool vision of a product that, or like a service that they want to offer, which is innovative. So you will be working with something hands-on that's really cool.
Okay, so maybe we will also give the chance to our audience. I will post your LinkedIn if anybody wants to connect with you and ask more about Founders Associate position. And I think that's all, and see you in our next episode. Goodbye.
Bye bye.